What's up, guys? I'm Frenzy. Welcome back to another episode of Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Mofodo, castle level 14. So, probably has Cyclops level 4, but he shouldn't have anything else. He might have Cyclops level 4. Alright, so I see like these two, and I don't think they pulled anything. I think they were just fakes. So I mean, you can see that pretty easily before you enter the room. I'll take a look at the room after because I can't quite see what room you're using. But I would say this definitely needs to be moved back. Okay, so it's another one of these like entry point rooms. I've seen a couple of people using these in their castle. I don't quite think that these work like that well for these type of pulls because you can't move this springboard back far enough, right? If I'm standing on the outside, I haven't aggroed this room at all, but I see exactly what's going to be coming. I mean, these springboard traps don't work unless you have a hunger bot. Alright, so I'm going to get pulled by that. And that's, you know, a pretty cool move that you used. I've never really thought about that as a purpose for getting around a corner that you don't have space to like go behind and stuff. So I'm just going to assume that that was set up correctly if you get pulled by this. The only thing is, like, this won't pull people all that often. And you notice, like, if I only get pulled by the Scorpio, I'm not going to get pulled by that second hunger bot. Like, I have time to pull away. So yeah, it's basically the room that the problem is, probably not like the creature setup or anything like that. I don't mind like the Scorpio because that adds a little DPS to the mix. And it looks like that would have thrown me into this group. The only thing I would say, although, hold on, let me clear this a little bit before I talk about it. I would say that the Smelly Warriors, if you're going to use them, probably need to be closer to where the hero's going to land after they hit this springboard trap, because you want them to get their hits in, right? They have the same delay as Jimbo, so basically I can kite these forever if I'm able to move. They'll never get hits on me. However, if they land and I'm stunned, they get basically free hits. So if you want to use Smelly Warriors, the only real way is to be able to get stuns on the hero and then have them come down on their heads. So I would say, like, as I'm hitting this, you kind of want your Smelly Warriors to be right on this side. However, if I don't hit this trap, it makes it a lot easier for the hero to get past it. So that's kind of, you know, up to you how you want to do it. But I think that maybe Smelly Warriors could be replaced with Smelly Archers if you wanted to do that. Alright, so what do we have here? Looks like just a delay room, basically. This shouldn't ever really kill anyone. You have, you know, the healing and then a Robo Defendatron, I mean. With the Hunger Bot, I'm not sure why the Hunger Bot. I guess it's just to be annoying. As you're trying to DPS down the Defendatron for Knights, it would pull them away. So I guess that works okay. Let's make sure that... Is that actually skippable, though? I'm not 100%. Like, I think you actually had him back farther, so I think that's fine. I think that you had, like, a group of them down in here somewhere. So I think that's not really skippable. But because that's your only mob group that's in this room, I think you could probably pick a better room for it. Something like a linear corridor or something that's a little bit smaller would probably work better for you. Alright, and then this should be some sort of a Stairmaster trap, if I had to guess. Oh, it looks like Cyclops. It's fine, it's like pretty good that you're using so many Cyclops because you have them at level 4. Although I'm not sure, I believe that your Smelly Archers should have an upgrade as well. I might be wrong. I don't know, they're level 14, I'll have to take a look what your Cyclops are at. Maybe I'm incorrect, maybe it's the next level that your Smelly Archers get an upgrade. But that also is a big upgrade. Smelly Archers on headshot fire 2 bolts instead of 1 when they get their upgrade. So I saw that pull through the wall, I'll wait for it. Looks like a Pete pound more, so I'm going to have to heal up just in case. Alright, we're fine. And what do we got here? Looks like another one of those Defendatron combos just to slow people down, so I think that's fine. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know really how well these work, and it looks like I aggroed the boss room as well. I don't know how well these Stairmasters on this specialization really work. I feel like they're a little easy to dodge out of the areas. Yes, it makes it a little annoying, but especially with this wide open room, I think there could be better things that you could use. They don't really do all that much damage either. And then the Jimbo, like I say, in a lot of these boss room areas for Jimbo, it's a little easy to dodge him when you have a lot of space to maneuver around. Yeah, I don't know what you would want to replace the Stairmasters with. You could just change their specialization, but Stairmasters work better in like tighter areas. Like all of their abilities are good for tighter areas, except for the one where they teleport, and that just makes them more annoying. But for this one, like, they take up a space, so if you have a space that's a circle in these smaller areas, it's harder to dodge around it. Same as the eyeballs, you're trying to dodge away from those slow-moving eyeballs, but when they fill up a smaller room, it's harder to dodge away. So maybe, like, archers are better in larger areas. I don't know. There's definitely things that you could probably change it to that might be a little bit better. But all in all, it's not too bad. That starting, like, springboard trap, if you change that to a different room, maybe, it might be better. You know, just mess around with it. So we'll jump in to number 2 in just a second. For number 2, we have Tapemeasure, castle level 17. We'll jump into it. Okay, that's cool. Like, okay, hold on. I just want to see what this room is doing before I comment on it completely. Alright, and then this, if I got pulled by it, would throw me into here, right? And then this pulls me over to there. Oh, and slows me. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, that's actually an interesting way of doing this. You know, like a lot of the time you just want people to kind of rush into the room a little bit farther and hope that they aggro extra mobs and you're kind of forcing the issue. So yeah, I don't mind that too much. I think... No, actually, I kind of like how everything sort of just works together to like accomplish the same goal, right? So you have me coming in here, and I'm guessing this one, this first Nodder aggroes these 3, and also the Hungerbot. Is that the correct amount of points? I'm not sure, but the idea would be you have these 3 archers, right? And if I get hit by them, I either want to pull back here or I want to pull back around this pillar. A lot of the time I say that I don't like smelly archers in this room specifically because of these pillars, but if I pull back to this pillar, I'm actually setting myself up perfectly for this hook. So I'm wondering how well that works for you, because I see the idea and I kind of like it. I would say these mines give like an extra ability for people to kind of kite around and like go through these to avoid smelly archers. So I would remove these 2 mines and put them in a different room where it doesn't matter as much, like with a Pete Poundmore or something. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think you could also like think about changing the slow that you throw the person into, changing that to fire mines. Although I don't know if it's too big of a deal because being slowed is annoying in that spot. Because you want to like dodge behind the pillars and stuff, and that slows them down from doing that, so you take more archer shots. So you could probably leave it as is as well, and it would be just fine. But when the patch goes through and slow mines get nerfed, it's definitely something that you'll want to consider. If you can, this fire trap should probably get moved. Although you do have 2 pulls in here, I can stand at this edge and kite around these corners a little bit too easily. I don't know if you can because of this trap down here, so... Alright, so a Jimbo... You know, like Jimbo is, you kind of can kite, but then the heal's a little bit annoying, so that's cool. Alright, and then you have a ton of derps and it looks like Dr. Skull. Okay. Well, because of how you had it set up, I can kind of see what's happening and I can just like target down the Dr. Skull before engaging the derps. Not really your fault, just because linear corridor, there's always a room that's going to go upwards, or like to the side where people have a little bit of extra vision. And because I have a Death Wish, I'm going to kill the bad dog before he found more. Alright. And this is going to be a Stairmaster pull. Okay, so I have something to say about this. You want to have the... Like, I know you don't have level 4 Hunger Bots, so that makes things a lot harder for you. But you noticed how I got pulled by that, but I only got hit by one of these bubbles. And the idea is you want the pull to come from behind the Stairmaster's bubbles so that you get hit by it more often. So there's two different things you could do, and it's hard to get the effect that you want, because if you put the Stairmasters up too far, you run the risk of somebody seeing them. However, because of this mousetrap thing that you have going on here, as you come in, you don't really have a reliable escape path. You're going to either get hit by this or something like that. So you could put the Stairmasters up a little bit farther and then move your Hunger Bot back to where it needs to be. And that would just take a little bit of testing, right? You could probably put your Stairmasters like in this area here, and then your Hunger Bot like right behind, and still get that hook within that. Even though you have a slow range, it might still work out for you. The only other thing you could do would be to leave it in front, but then turn the Hunger Bot around so that it like delays it for a little bit longer, so you get a couple more of those bubbles to hit. But that just makes it so that the guy can dodge a lot easier. I knew I was going to hit by that. Alright. Smelly Warriors with a bad dog. Alright, and the Smelly Warriors are on a different one where they actually hit, so I like that. I mean, I don't really like Smelly Warriors that much, but I like them with the fact that they're not using the heavy-handed whatever specialization, because I think that just makes it so easy for them to be dodged. Like, the actual usage of them, I mean, they're still kind of a weak unit, so... I like archers better. I think that maybe if you had, like, the Snotter scouting for up this entire pathway, you'd probably have to remove the mines if you did this, and then put, like, archers down in here, all spread out. You might do more damage to the hero than with those. And then the bad dog, I don't know, you probably would have to change it to, like, a puppeteer back in here and hope that that works. I'm not sure about this placement of this trap. Let me just see what it does. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything, so I would replace that with something else. Okay, Scorpio. Although I missed that trap, so I'm trying to think why that was. I think it's because the way that this has to be set up is you can't really predict what area the hero's going to be in when the Scorpio hits, right? So like if I'm in the wrong area, I get pulled in the wrong way, and then I don't get hit by this trap. But in case I did, does that pull me into the boss room? And then, okay. So I like that. That's just fine. That's actually doing quite a bit of damage to me as well. The Jimbo, like in this circumstance, is pretty annoying with a Scorpio, because you constantly can't, you're trying to like kite away from it, and you're constantly getting hit by him because of that. And also, like, the weird jelly wall thing, it works for you. I think probably the best option of dealing with this is pulling back all the way around this corner. But yeah, like, in this specific circumstance, I don't really hate Jimbo as much as I do normally in boss rooms, simply because you have so much kind of crowd control inside of the boss room that works all well together. Like, you have this Scorpio that's pulling you into this, and then Jimbo gets that hit almost every time the Scorpio gets a hit. So it's like, you know, 500 or 600 damage from the Scorpio and 500 or 600 damage from the Jimbo every time you get pulled. So I don't mind that too much. I think that's pretty good. Alright, so we'll jump into the third one in just a second. Okay, and for number 3, we have ... He's a French guy, French fan, which is kind of interesting. Like, when I go into YouTube, I can see where all my views come from, and it's like United States and France. Like, France is right behind the United States in views, which is kind of awkward. Like, I have just as many French fans as I do United States fans, which is kind of weird. He's a level 21 castle, so it could be a little bit difficult. 255 defense supply, pretty much has everything available to him. So we'll see how his setup is. Okay. So I see the Snotter, but I don't think I can quite get to him. Like, I could actually, if I wanted to as an archer, because I saw him, I could do that, and that would pull this. And what I'm assuming is Stairmasters, yeah. So I can do something like that, but most people won't do that. This whole setup is fine. I use the same thing in my castle, so yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, is that a... okay. If that were to have been another Stairmaster pull, I probably would have just killed myself. Right there. Just because I, like, used roll right at the edge of it, and then the little delay off of roll would have had the Hunger Bot hit me, but... yeah, Zeke does really good damage. I really have to start making use of him more often. He does like 600 damage per shot, which is pretty good. Yeah, those Zekes, my god. Like, if this gets another shot at me, I would have died. Yeah, that was just one Zeke, and that's all. That was like almost insta-kill just from that Zeke. So that's pretty good. Yeah, those Zekes, my god. I really have to make use of him when I level up my castle for sure. Okay, so the slow trap is kind of weird in this spot. Like, I would prefer it to either be up here if you really want that hook to hit them, although I don't know even about the hook in general, just because you have a Zeke from so far away. You kind of want the hero to stay away from him. Like, if you pull him into it, it just kind of makes knights a little bit better, and even archers to some extent. I don't mind it too much because you kind of want to stop them from going around the corner as well. But if anything, I would say maybe even adding fire mines here. So if you do get that hook off, you get 2 fire mines worth of damage, which is like 400, and then you get the Zeke, which is an additional 1200 or something like that. So that's like 2000 worth of damage right there. And there's the... yeah, I really like that. That's cool. It's not something that I'm really used to, so I'm gonna have to start kiting around corners a bit more against this. Because I see like a pattern emerging, which is something you have to worry a little bit about. If you're using things a little bit too much, people will get better and better at dealing with it throughout. Okay. Alright, so I was able to see that a little bit before the hook came. I would say move up your spotter minion slightly, if you can. If not, you probably want to move this back a little bit if you can. But like something to just delay the sight a little bit, because I kind of came in and I saw it and there was enough delay where I was able to get out of the way, just from reactively doing it. So Yeah, if you can just move back this slightly. And then what I'm assuming, which if I hit this, I'm dying, like 100%, because I'm assuming this throws me into a Stairmaster pull. But let's see if I'm correct. Yeah. So this would kill someone 100% of the time, I think. I don't think there's any way... Did you have a Zeke in this as well? I don't think so. I'm not sure what you had. Maybe you did. I'm trying to see the corpses. I'm not sure. But I think any additional damage on top of a Stairmaster pull is going to kill somebody. This is something that I should try out more as well. I think this is a pretty good idea. Just like forcing the Stairmaster pulls a little bit more, I think is better. You know, you have like 2 opportunities to hit by them. That Zeke. I know he's coming. Yep, there he was. He still hit me too. Oh, wow, he hits 3 times as well at level 4. I didn't realize that. That's why he's doing so much damage. Maybe he always hits for 3 bolts? I'm not 100%. So I'm scared of like rolling in here because I can see the outline of a spring trap right down there. And that Zeke, and maybe it was a... yeah, no, it was a Zeke. I'm gonna have to test out Zeke now just to see if he has 3 bolts now or if it's at level 4. I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, so this is like a lot, like very similar to how I have my setup. I didn't test it to see if it was working properly, but I'm sure it is. And then the boss room is the same as mine? Yep. Alright, so the easy way to deal with this boss room, if anybody sees it, I'll show you guys right now. Like, it takes a little bit of extra time, but you can pull back around this corner. And then you can see that the Pete Bound moves so fast that you can kite him back to an area where there's no Defendatron guarding him anymore. And then there's no DPS in this army anymore, so you can just kind of stand here and kill everything. Okay, so the only thing that I have to say is you notice that I still made it within time, even though I've been talking through the way through it, and that's because of so many like spring trap combos. You have so many of them, and also like Zekes aren't very tanky as well. So the only way to stop, if you're noticing, I'm trying to think how to put this. So if you're noticing in your replays that a lot of people are getting through and aren't taking enough time, what you're going to have to do and what you're going to have to change is replacing some of the Zekes and some of the pulls with tankier monsters. Because like Zekes and pulls are both very... I don't know how to put this. They're... I don't know, they're weak, they're easy to kill, they're low hit points. There's a word that I'm looking for that I'm not actually, it's not coming to me. But yeah, you'll have to change it to stronger, bulkier monsters to make people take a little bit more time. Other than that, it wasn't very bad. I liked the combos with like the charge, and then that little mini stun off the charge allows the Zeke to get all of his bolts in, and that almost kills me, which is pretty good. I think that'll kill like a lot of people who are less geared and also under leveled. I'm sure you get some kills just from that room itself, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that's number 3 for this video. So if you guys enjoy what I do, you know, subscribe and leave a like, as always. And if you want to be a part of this, you can contact me by leaving a comment in the video, leaving a comment on my castle, attack it, leave a comment, and email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. There'll be a link in the description to that. And as always, it takes me a couple of days to get to your castle, so don't just like keep email me or keep commenting or something like that. Hey, you didn't hear me or something, you know. It'll take me usually 2 to 3 days to do a bulk amount of castles, and after I do your castle, it'll take me a couple of days to actually upload it because I do them in bulk. So with that, I'll end the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.